Real Madrid lose against Valencia at the Santiago Bernabeu, putting their title hopes in trouble in LaLiga EA Sports. Real Betis end Barcelona's winning run by holding them to a draw, pushing the Blaugrana to increasing their lead by just a point. And Atletico Madrid beat Sevilla, 7 points off the top, 3 points off second place.
These are the results from week 30 in La Liga EA Sports. There was a big result at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid losing 2-1 at home to Valencia. Barcelona were held against Real Betis, a 1-1 draw at Montjuic. As for Atletico de Madrid, late drama as they snatched all 3 points away at Sevilla. Villarreal drew 0-0 at home to Athletic Club. And week 30 concluded with a 1-1 draw at Butarque between Leganés and Osasuna. All 10 results are listed there. There were 0 home wins for the first time in 19 years in La Liga. And those results mean that the table looks like this. Barcelona now have a 4-point lead at the top of the table. Atletico de Madrid move to within 3 points of Real Madrid. Athletic Club remain 4th. Villarreal and Real Betis are 5th and 6th. In the bottom half of the table, it is still Leganés, Las Palmas and Valladolid in the relegation zone.
Valencia win their first game at the Santiago Bernabeu for 17 years, and they do it in dramatic style, scoring the winner in added time. Hugo Duro, the man who got the goal. Valencia's form since they changed coach has been astonishingly good. They would be 6th in the table, counting the results from his arrival on Christmas Eve as the new Valencia manager. Real Madrid won an early penalty. Mbappe brought down by Cesar Tárrega. Mbappe wanted more than just a penalty, he wanted the red card as well. The referee looked at it pitch side. Now whether he appears to be checking whether it is a red or it's just a yellow. He didn't change his mind about the yellow, didn't change his mind about the penalty. It wasn't Mbappe who stepped up to take it, it was Vinicius. Real Madrid have changed their spot kick takers throughout the season. And Vinicius sees his penalty saved by Mamardashvili. Bellingham, Mbappe and Vinicius have all taken penalties, and they've all missed them as well. It's 5 misses between them. Down at the other end, Mukhtar Diakabi, 1 year and 1 month since picking up a potentially career-ending injury against Real Madrid at Mestalla, scores against Carlo Ancelotti's team with this towering header. He gets in front of Rudiger, buries that one past Fran Gonzalez. And so it's 1-0. It was almost 1-1, and Diakabi would have been the villain of the piece, not the hero this time. It's a tremendous own goal, hit with such pace and swerve. There's no way that Mamardashvili can stop this. But Mbappe is offside in the build-up, so the goal doesn't count. They kept probing Madrid, but they kept finding Mamardashvili in spectacular form. That's his save, tipping Mbappe's shot over the top. Finally, they got back on level terms. It was Vinicius at the far post from Bellingham's flick on after Modric had delivered the perfect corner. 1-1, and still with plenty of time, surely, to take all 3 points against a team that hadn't won away from home all season. A team that hadn't beaten any of the top 3 all season. But try as they might, they couldn't get the second goal of the game for them. Mbappe steering that one wide from Fran Garcia's cross. Rodrigo came on, David Alaba came on, Endrick came on, but there was just no way through Fede Valverde sees his shot saved by Mamardashvili, and Lucas Vázquez is denied at the far post by Jesus Vázquez. And with the clock ticking down, Valencia did this. It's Diego Lopez who plays the ball down the right. Rafa Mir runs onto it. He delivers the kind of cross that he would like to receive as a centre-forward. And Hugo Duro has a fantastic record of scoring against Real Madrid. Heads Valencia into the lead. Nothing that the 19-year-old goalkeeper, Fran Gonzalez, could do about that. It's a brilliant counter-attack goal from Valencia. And there was barely time for Real Madrid to muster another chance. They did, but Rudiger was denied by man of the match, Mamardashvili. So that's the way it finished in the Santiago Bernabéu. The final score, Real Madrid 1, Valencia 2.
At the Estadio Olímpic, Lluís Companys, Barcelona hosted Betis on matchday 30. They had previously seen title rivals Real Madrid beaten by Valencia. It was an opportunity for Barca to extend their advantage in the La Liga table. They had a first shot through Pedri, which stung the hands of Adrian San Miguel. Slick move by the Blaugrana resulted in the opening goal and the first goal in La Liga this season for Gavi. A muted celebration from him. He scored against a club where he had spent years in the youth system. Betis responded with an attack, and it was Cucho Hernandez who shot high and wide. From a corner, Nathan scored his first goal in La Liga EA Sports as Betis restored parity on 16 minutes. Score back all square. Barca had another opportunity in the first half. Gavi threaded through to Balde. He brought it across, and Ferran Torres received it slightly behind him, putting his shot wide. Betis carelessly gave the ball away, and there was another chance, this time for Lamine Yamal. A double opportunity for him. The first save by Adrian, the second headed away by one-time Barca player Marc Bartra. In the second half, Lamine Yamal played a ball inside to Pedri. He in turn found Jules Koundé, and the save made by Adrian was one of his best of the game. Clearance, a deflected shot from Gavi, rustled the side netting. Rafinha free kick. Rafinha could only find Adriani, put it underneath the wall, trying to catch him out. Did have a couple of chances before the end. This was Nathan forcing a save from Wojciech Szczesny. ball across the face of goal in the final stages of the contest. Was not finished by Lewandowski or by Fermin Lopez. The spoils were shared at Montjuic. The final score, Barcelona 1, Real Betis 1.
Atletico Madrid snatched all 3 points from the Sánchez-Pizjuán right at the death in a game for two teams who were lacking a little bit of confidence heading into it. Sevilla struck first, and what a strike it was. Lucien Agoumé with his powerful finish from the edge of the box. It's a neat move down the flank, the back heel from Vargas, the cross by Adrià Pedrosa, and the guided inside of the foot power plus control finish from Agoumé. Nothing Jan Oblak could do about that one. Vargas injured in the build-up, however, pulling his hamstring there as he played the back heel. He would have to be replaced by Ejuke. How would Atletico Madrid respond after a very difficult month of upsets and results not going their way? Well, Nahuel Molina dragged that shot wide. And a nice step over here by Ejuke. Oblak just diverting the cross, and Lenormand with a pivotal intervention. Conor Gallagher forced a penalty out of nowhere, getting his foot to the ball just moments before Loic Bader, who makes a clumsy challenge and allowed Atletico Madrid back into the contest. Julian Alvarez making no mistake, scoring his 12th goal of the season in La Liga EA Sports. Towards the end of the first half, turned into a bit of a flat encounter, but Agoumé thread this ball in behind the Atletico Madrid defence. Adams with the shots, and brave goalkeeping by Oblak, and Lenormand making sure that the ball didn't spin into the back of the net. A good drop of the shoulder here from Ejuke, looked to surprise Jan Oblak at the near post. The Slovenian goalkeeper was having none of it. Into the second half, Quique Salas with this run in behind again. He looked for the rather unorthodox finish at the near post. Giuliano Simeone forcing the save out of Nieland. Wasn't too much work for both Oblak and Nieland throughout the 90 minutes. Sevilla came close with this thumping header from Loic Bader. Always a powerful presence in the air. And moments later, they'd have this free kick for Nemanja Gudel, which was an easy claim for Jan Oblak. Julian Alvarez was always popping up in dangerous positions in and around the box, curling this shot, which was batted away by Nieland. And into added time, Pablo Barrios picks up the ball here. There's an invitation to run into space, which he duly accepts, and he curls it into the bottom corner with his weaker left foot. It's his first goal of the season. What a moment for Barrios to pop up and score. Atletico Madrid, who didn't put in their best performance of the season, but came away with all 3 points from the Sánchez-Pizjuán.
Atletico Madrid secured a crucial victory away at the Sánchez-Pizjuán, which allowed them to rejoin the fight for the LaLiga EA Sports title. But Diego Simeone's side didn't have it easy. Atletico Madrid were forced to come back from behind after Sevilla's early goal in the 7th minute. It came off a quick attacking transition by the home side. Vargas left Pedrosa on his own with a sensational back heel. The winger crossed as he reached the goal line, and the rebound set the ball into the box. Luque Bacchio looked like the player best positioned to collect it. But the Belgian saw Lucien Agoumet arriving like a runaway train. The Frenchman took the strike, and his shot was so powerful and precise that it rendered any attempt by Jan Oblak to reach it useless. It was the first goal for Lucien Agoumet in professional football. It was the best goal of Matchday 30 in LaLiga EA Sports.
On Sunday night at La Ceramica, Villarreal hosted Athletic Club. This was 5th against 4th in La Liga EA Sports. And before kick-off, the Peñíscola futsal team came onto the pitch to celebrate their recent victory in the Copa de España. A big game this in the race for Champions League football. 6 points separating the teams at kick-off, and still 6 separating them at full time after a 0-0 draw. There was a chance early on for Gorka Guruzeta, who headed over the top for Ernesto Valverde's side, and then Baena and Barry combined to set up Sergi Cardona. A good chance for the fullback, who was denied by Unai Simon. It was the hosts largely on top in the first half, and they perhaps should have gone in front when Ayose Perez was teed up by Comesaña. Another save from Simon, and then Comesaña's cross headed out as far as Buchanan. Really good strike from the Interloney. His effort tipped over by Simon, and then some pressure from Iñaki led to this opportunity. Nico Williams crossing to his brother Iñaki, who missed a really good chance to put Athletic in front. In the second half, there was this header from Tierno Barry, saved comfortably by Spain's goalkeeper. And then, probably the best chance of the game for Barry, with about 21 minutes to play. Teed up by substitute Gerard Moreno. There was a slight touch from Dani Vivian on his return from injury, which did enough to put off Barry, and he missed the opportunity. Marcelino's side went looking for a winner that would have reduced the gap between them and Athletic to just 3 points. They thought they'd scored with 13 minutes remaining. Barry had the ball in the back of the net. The whole stadium was celebrating, Barry as well, but the goal was disallowed. Handball by Barry. So it didn't count. Athletic were heading towards their 10th clean sheet of the season. Villarreal heading towards just their 4th, but they had to finish the game with 10 players after a straight red card for Pap Gay, who had come on as a substitute. Marcelino's assistant Ruben Urrea also red-carded, and for Gay, after an on-field review, he was dismissed. He's now received 5 red cards from 42 appearances in La Liga. With an extra man, Athletic went looking for a winner and nearly found it in the final minute of stoppage time. Dani Vivian with the header, tipped away by Luis Junior. So in this battle to finish in the top four, it finished Villarreal 0, Athletic Club 0.
Matchday 30 in La Liga. EA Sports brought us the game between Mallorca and Celta at the Estadi Mallorca Son Moix. Both sides heavily involved in the fight to finish 7th this season for that final European place. It was 9th against 7th on the day. Both coming into this one level on 40 points, looking to capitalise on Rayo's huge defeat the night before at home against Espanyol. Mallorca looks set to take advantage of that opportunity as they took the lead just 16 minutes in through Martin Valiente. A lovely ball in from Sergi Darder. Valiente scoring his 2nd goal of the season, a good header past Vicente Guaita. First shot on target of the game, it must be said as well, for the home side. Unfortunately though, for the hosts, Vedat Morici went off with a muscular problem just half an hour into the game, and Kyle Larin had to come on to replace him. This was the real turning point in the matchup. Just a couple of minutes into the second half, Asano did well with a back heel to put Kyle Larin right in front of goal to make it 2-0, but he was unable to beat Vicente Guaita. And from there, Celta regained their confidence and went on to completely control the second 45. A huge chance missed by Kyle Larin. As just minutes later, Alfon would make it 1-1 at the Estadio Mallorca Son Moix. Aspas was fouled in the build-up, but Celta were on the ball, so the referee allowed play to continue correctly. And Alfon did this from outside the box, picking out the bottom corner. He scored for Celta in their last game, a 1-1 draw at home against Las Palmas. On that occasion, he picked out the top corner. This time, he picked out the bottom corner, beating Mallorca on the road. Set up by Pablo Duran. A really good finish to beat Dominic Grief. Celta kept on pushing, as we say, looking to take the lead. They were in control of this one, more of the possession. Minutes later, Pablo Duran would put this shot just wide of the goal. Celta looking dangerous on the counter charge. Celta looking to win at the Estadio Mallorca Son Moix for the first time since the 2003-2004 campaign. Iago Aspas was returning to the starting 11, and he was replaced after an hour for Fer Lopez. Fer Lopez would have a big part to play in the game, as he got on the end of this ball over the top from Mingueza and turned the game around to make it 2-1 for the visitors, with his first career goal in the Spanish top flight. Assist number 6 this season for Oscar Mingueza. Fer Lopez's first career goal in La Liga, and it turned out to be the match winner for the visitors. Celta were 1-0 down at half-time, and with 20 minutes to go, they found themselves 2-1 up. Very, very nice finish from the 20-year-old Celta winger. The visitors kept on pushing, looking to make it 3-1. Elias Moriba was next up, but he was denied by a good save from Dominic Grief. Wasn't the only chance, though, Celta had in the final exchanges. Svedberg, who came on alongside Iglesias in the final minutes, had this tame effort, but it went straight at Grief. Celta were able to pick up their first back-to-back couple of away wins of the season as they came from behind to beat Mallorca. Had chances to make it 3-1 late on, but the final score was 2-1 to Celta, away to Mallorca at the Estadi Mallorca Son Moix.
A night to remember at Vallecas, a Friday night match day 30. We kicked off the match day in grand style, but it wasn't a night to remember for Rayo, no. It was all about Espanyol. They came out flying in this game. A game that they deserved from start to finish, and it began 12 minutes in with a header from Leandro Cabrera, the 33-year-old Uruguayan who got things going. Randy Nteca could not keep it out, and Cabrera scores his third goal of the season in the league. That is a new career high for him. He had never reached that mark before, and things only got worse for Rayo after that. A fortunate little deflection, a very poor defensive play from Aridane Hernandez, an unselfish feed from Javi Puado, and a clinical finish from Roberto Fernandez. 4 minutes after the first goal, it's Espanyol taking a 2-goal lead on the road. They did it in just 15 minutes. They hadn't scored 2 goals on the road in a game all season. They do it in Vallecas, and that was a lead that they were not looking to relinquish anytime soon. They had all kinds of chances to grow their lead in the first half too. Javi Puado was one of the players trying to make it happen. There was another effort from Puado that needed to be saved by Augusto Batalla, which he did, but we could do this all night, showing you chances for Espanyol on a night that was theirs. It was a very poor defensive effort from Rayo. They did have one little half chance in the first half. It was this one from Alvaro Garcia, trying to cause chaos. Second half, Joan Garcia made his presence felt. This was while it was still 2-0. And Jorge de Frutos put this one on the target, though it was a better save from Garcia. Denied him at close range and kept the ball out of the net, kept it 2-0. Another chance came shortly thereafter for Alvaro Garcia, but Joan Garcia said, no, not tonight. None of those chances allowed Rayo to get back into the game. So while it always stayed 2-0, we knew that at some point, if Espanyol broke through with a third, that this game would be over, and we thought this chance had gone. Fernandez pushed it over the crossbar, but upon closer review, Pathé Cis slid in a bit too hastily here and caught Fernandez, and Hernandez went over to the VAR, signaled penalty, and Javi Puado marks his 10th goal of the season with an easy winning night for Espanyol. Puado, the team's leading scorer, slots it home easily, and a 3-0 comfortable cruising almost turned into 4-0 thanks to Puado, who successfully chips Batalla but misses the target. Chance passes him by. It just led to the poor performance from Rayo's defense all night. They would get their fourth, though, in the end, and it would come from a name who hadn't yet scored this season. Peremilla with his first top-flight goal for Espanyol. His first goal in 2 years in LaLiga EA Sports when he did it for Elche. And this is, again, another microcosm of exactly what Rayo's defense looked like on this night. They drop points in their quest for Europe. Espanyol pick up 3 massive points in their fight against the drop. After the game on a Friday night, they go 5 points clear of the relegation zone. They win it at Vallecas by a count of 4-0.
The first minutes of a match tend to set the trend for what is to come, and the Sunday game between Las Palmas and Real Sociedad was one such case. The home team had the first big chance of the match, and Fabio Silva took advantage of a Sergio Gomez mistake in the 3rd minute, finding himself all alone against Alex Ramiro. The Portuguese forward is Las Palmas' top scorer, with 8 goals so far this season. He was unable to beat Ramiro, who, with a tremendous block, prevented an early opener. Just 2 minutes later, Mikel Oyarzabal scored to make it 1-0, building on Ramiro's save. Real Sociedad took all 3 points from the Estadio Gran Canaria, and Alex Ramiro provided the best save of Matchday 30 in the LaLiga EA Sports.
Alaves claimed 3 big points in the race against relegation from Montilivi. And Girona suffered their 8th game on the bounce without a win. As they've been dragged right into that relegation tussle. The first chance of the game, if you can call it that, this shot from Carlos Vicente. Fired straight at Gazzaniga. They were happy to sit back, Alaves, and try and catch Girona on the counter. Quique Garcia finishing this move after a powerful run forward by Carlos Martin, but he shot it straight at Gazzaniga. And Danjuma finding some space in behind Mourinho. And perhaps not picking the best choice available to finish off the move. Lovely shimmy to open up some space away from Abkar. The final attempt of the first half, it was from Asprilla from a very long distance. Difficult angle, but still forcing Sivera to stretch. Into the second half, and it was a better response from Girona. Abel Ruiz unable to control that ball, which is then drilled into the side netting by Asprilla. Just not been clinical enough this season, has Abel Ruiz, an attack for Girona. Yellow card picked up here by Guridi, meaning that he won't be available for Alaves against Real Madrid next week. Danjuma finding Miguel Gutierrez, who teed it up for Donny van der Beek. His shot almost reminiscent of Tony Kroos as he looked to pass it into the bottom corner of the goal. Turned around the post by Sivera. There, lovely nutmeg from Miguel Gutierrez. It eventually finds Yasser Asprilla at the far post, but he slices his volley wide. Didn't take their chances, Girona, and in the end they would pay it at a very hefty price as Carlos Vicente scored the only goal of the game. Set clear by a lovely headed assist by John Guridi. Vicente scoring his 4th goal of the season. Quique Garcia is always making life very difficult for the opposing defence. They're clattering into 3 Girona players. They still had so much to do from here. Krejci tries to intercept. He's caught flat-footed. And Carlos Vicente was well away. Just stroked that ball into the bottom corner, as calm as you like. And this would be the clearest chance for Girona to equalise in the game. Porto does very well to poke the ball away from Abkar. He plays it back into the box, and Danjuma and Stuani were both lining up. It's Danjuma who sliced his finish, but maybe Stuani was in a better position to apply the finishing touch. Another yellow card, which warrants a suspension for next week. Sivera will miss the game against Real Madrid too. Fine save here by Gazzaniga from a header by Santiago Mourinho. So Girona's negative spiral continues, but it's a huge victory for Deportivo Alaves down the bottom end of the table.
At the Estadio Gran Canaria on Sunday afternoon, it was Las Palmas against Real Sociedad on Matchday 30. Las Palmas down in the relegation zone. Real Sociedad looking to move their way up closer to the European spots. Game started off with a gift given to Fabio Silva. Alex Romero was able to make amends with the save at his near post, making himself big to block from the Portuguese striker. Right-footed effort from Baranechea was saved by Urkash, the goalkeeper. Mikel Oyarzabal, though, was the quickest to react. His reflex shot put the ball across the line. Just 4 minutes in, Real Sociedad took the lead. Beautiful turn from Baranechea, nevertheless found him without space for the shot. It was smothered by Urkash. Goalkeeper in for the injured Jesper Silerson. So Ollie McBurney was put through on Alex Ramiro, and it was the goalkeeper who won out, diving at the Scotsman's feet. In the first half, Zubeldia had to be taken off injured. John Martin came on in his stead. His first task was to try and defend that throw-in, which eventually fell to Fabio Silva. He hit the crossbar with a right-footed shot. The second half. A ball across found its way to Sergio Gomez. Player in goal-scoring form, converting at the back post, adding to the advantage for La Real. Run into the box from Fabio Silva, saw him set up Ollie McBurney. He scored his very first La Liga goal, pulling one back for the home side. Fabio Silva slinking between the two defenders, teeing up McBurney. And the Flying Scotsman was able to slide in to turn the ball across the line. An excellent save from Urkash. Would deny Pablo Marin from close range, but a goal came from John Aramburu. He'd taken the throw-in. It was a little lay-off to him, and he scored his very first goal for Real Sociedad. Restoring the 2-goal lead with 23 minutes remaining. There were more chances before the end, including for Oskarsson, the substitute. He was denied by Urkash's feet. Takikubo had the ball in the net after selling a dummy to defender and goalkeeper. He had been offside by a whisker when the initial free kick was played. Oskarsson had another chance before the end, which went out off the post. As the game concluded, Las Palmas 1, Real Sociedad 3.
Getafe thrashed Valladolid by 4-0 at the Estadio José Zorrilla, keeping up their chances of making it into European competition next season. It was a bad day at the office, even by Valladolid's standards. They were behind inside a minute. Aaron Barry with the opening goal. It was flicked on by Uche from Diego Rico's throw. Andre Ferreira in the Valladolid goal, making his first appearance for the club, came out, got nowhere near the ball, and Aaron Barry with his 9th of the season. So, a bad start for a team who came into this game 14 points from safety, hadn't won since the 11th of January. And things soon went from bad to worse. Uche was involved again, second assist of the game for him, and the first goal for Ramon Terrats. Bordalas looking calm on the touchline, game very much in control. Well, his team very much in control of the game right from the first. Nicely taken down by Terrats, and a good finish. Aaron Barry with this effort, parried by Ferreira. Juanmi's pass. Here comes goal number 3. Uche involved again. This time it's Bernat who provides the assist, and again it's Terrats. That was Ramon Terrats' 4th goal for Getafe since joining in the winter window on loan from Villarreal. Only Sadiq at Valencia has had such a goal-scoring impact since arriving in the winter window. Now scored more goals for Getafe than he has for Villarreal. Will they keep him at the end of the season? They'd certainly like to. This should have been goal number 4, and it should have been Juanmi's first in a Getafe shirt. On loan from Betis. Got 3 goals last season for Cádiz, yet to score for Getafe. Another setback for Valladolid, a red card before half-time for Mario Martín. Flies into this challenge. Takes 2 Getafe players out. The worst, the player who came off worst was Juan Iglesias, and a straight red from Alejandro Quintero González. Latasa with an early chance for Valladolid from Candela's cross at the start of the second half. Business as usual was soon resumed with Getafe creating chances at the other end. Juanmi heading into the side netting from Carlos Perez's cross. Carlos Perez who'd come on in the second half, as had Coba, and it was his back heel that Mia connected with. Another save from André Ferreira. And it would be Coba and Mia that combined again for the 4th goal. Mia with the centre, and Dominguez Duarte off the underside of the crossbar into the back of the net for 4-0. And that was Dominguez Duarte's first goal for Getafe. He hasn't scored since his days at Granada. Four players, including the goalkeeper, going for that one, but Duarte got it. So an emphatic victory. The final score, Valladolid 0, Getafe 4.
Visiting the Santiago Bernabeu to play a Real Madrid side fighting for the title is never easy. But Valencia pulled off one of the surprises of the season, largely thanks to their goalkeeper, Georgi Mamardashvili. The Georgians' afternoon began to get difficult in the 13th minute, and Vinicius Jr. stepped up to take a penalty. But Mamardashvili read the Brazilians' intentions to prevent the first goal of the match. The goalkeeper had another save to make in the 36th minute, with Valencia ahead on the score sheet. Kylian Mbappe looked for an equaliser. Mamardashvili responded with a great stop. Real Madrid's goal at the start of the second half created the expectation of another comeback from Carlo Ancelotti's men. But Mamardashvili came up trumps once again. He stopped Fede Valverde in the 71st minute, and with Valencia 2-1 up, he saved Antonio Rudiger's attempt in the 97th minute. A perfect performance gave Valencia their first victory at the Bernabeu in 16 years, and earned Mamardashvili the honour of being the best player of Matchday 30 in LaLiga EA Sports.
At Butarque on the Monday night of week 30 in La Liga EA Sports, Leganés and Osasuna drew 1-1. Borja Jiménez was without Oscar through suspension. Los Rojillos had goalkeeper Sergio Herrera back from suspension, and he made this first half save from Renato Tapia. A really good strike from distance with 18 minutes on the clock. Thereafter, Los Rojillos took control. They created a number of chances before half-time, This one for John Moncayola, tipped over the bar by Dimitrovic. And there was then a glaring miss from Ante Budimir, teed up by Moncayola after half an hour. And Osasuna's top goal scorer fluffed his lines. The away side then thought they'd taken the lead. A good finish from Lucas Toro on his 200th appearance for the club. He was celebrating his goal. However, it was eventually disallowed because Ruben Garcia was offside in the build-up. It was a very tight call indeed, but the right decision, and so it remained 0-0. Toro's goal didn't count. Still more pressure from Osasuna. Just before the break, Budimir was able to spin and fire at goal, but his shot went just wide. And then in stoppage time at the end of the first half, Herrera with a save from Sergio Gonzalez. So it was 0-0 at half-time. And shortly after the break, Osasuna went in front. Centre-back Jorge Errando scoring his first goal in La Liga to put the visitors one up. Catena with the flick on. Errando stooping to head home, a special goal for him. And at this stage, Osasuna were heading to their second away win of the season. They needed, though, a second goal to kill the game off, and they never found it. There was another good chance for Budimir. It just wasn't his night. This time, Valentin Rossier made an excellent block. And as the second half progressed, Leganés took more and more risks and got closer and closer to the equaliser. This was a chance for Rossier with 14 minutes to play. There was another chance for Budimir. Wasted again, his effort straight at Dimitrovic. Another let-off for Leganés. Osasuna could have been out of sight, but it was just 1-0. And 18-year-old Jan Diomande had come off the bench for Leganés for just his second appearance in La Liga. And his wonderful cross led to a foul in the box by Bretones on Gonzalez. And so Leganés had a late penalty, a chance to equalise, and Danny Rabba stepped up and smashed home his spot kick to make it 1-1 with just 4 minutes remaining. Rabba with his 7th goal of the season. It was enough to earn a point. It finished at Butarque. Leganés 1, Osasuna 1. Here are the results from week 30 in La Liga EA Sports. For the first time in 19 years, no home victories. There were 3 draws and 7 away wins. What a result for Espanyol, winning 4-0 at Rayo. Alaves won on the road. So too Valencia beating Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Celta took 3 points at Son Moix. Betis with a draw away at league leaders Barcelona. There was late drama for Atlético de Madrid when they picked up their winning goal at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Impressive 4-0 victory for Getafe, and Leganés closed out week 30 with a 1-1 draw at home to Osasuna. All the results listed there. And the table now looks like this. Barcelona lead the way with a 4-point cushion ahead of Real Madrid. Atleti are within 3 points of Los Blancos now. Athletic Club remain 4th, Villarreal 5th and Betis 6th. And have a look at Celta. They are up to 7th. In the bottom half of the table, it is still Valladolid at the foot. Las Palmas 19th. And Leganés in the relegation zone. They are in 18th place, 2 points from safety. here is what is on the menu in week 31. On Friday night, Valencia host Sevilla. Among the Saturday fixtures, we have Celta at home to Espanyol and Leganés against Barcelona. Among the Sunday fixtures, it is Alaves against Real Madrid, Betis versus Villarreal, and Athletic Club hosting Rayo. Week 31 concludes on the Monday in the capital with Atleti against rock bottom Valladolid.